This is the Synthetic Signal Report for Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 in the afternoon. Today, we analyze Intel's breakthrough in hardware-accelerated encryption and the passing of computing pioneer Tony Hoare. We examine a critical energy deadlock facing the Trump administration, Microsoft's latest security rollout, and a significant structural shift at BioNTech. Also on the radar, Amazon's legal victory over Perplexity, new legal frameworks for autonomous agents, and a White House directive to remove Anthropic from federal systems. Intel has demonstrated a new specialized chip designed for Fully Homomorphic Encryption, or FHE. This is a significant update to the private computation landscape we have tracked throughout the year. Traditionally, data must be decrypted before a processor can perform calculations, creating a vulnerability window. The Intel demonstration chip allows for complex mathematical operations to be performed directly on encrypted data without ever exposing the raw information to the system. The demonstration shows that this hardware-level acceleration can process these tasks thousands of times faster than current software-only methods. This technology aims to make zero-trust cloud computing a physical reality. It allows sensitive industries, such as healthcare and finance, to outsource massive workloads to third-party data centers without the provider ever seeing the unencrypted data. By moving the heavy lifting of encrypted math into dedicated silicon, Intel is attempting to resolve the massive performance penalty that has historically kept FHE out of mainstream production. The computing world is mourning the death of Tony Hoare, the computer scientist who profoundly shaped modern software engineering. Hoare is best known for developing the quicksort algorithm in 1960, which remains one of the most widely used sorting methods today. Beyond algorithms, he pioneered the use of formal logic to verify program correctness and created communicating sequential processes, which provided the foundational theory for how modern concurrent systems talk to each other. Hoare famously referred to his invention of a null reference as his billion-dollar mistake, a statement that highlighted his career-long focus on language safety and reliability. His work transitioned computer science from a craft of trial and error into a disciplined branch of engineering. The Trump administration is navigating a deteriorating strategic environment that pits global economic stability against naval capability. Data indicates that Kuwait, Iraq, and the United Arab Emirates are currently shutting off oil wells because their storage tanks are overflowing. This is a direct consequence of the escalating conflict in the Middle East, which has throttled shipping lanes and left oil with nowhere to go. The mathematical reality is becoming strained. If the administration continues its current naval posture, it faces the risk of a collapse in maritime control. However, the alternative is a global energy shock as production stalls due to a lack of storage. This energy deadlock is already impacting international markets, creating a situation where physical storage capacity, rather than raw supply, has become the primary bottleneck for the global economy. Microsoft released its March 2026 patch Tuesday updates, addressing 79 vulnerabilities across its software suite. This includes 2 publicly disclosed zero-day flaws that were already being exploited in the wild. The update covers critical weaknesses in the Windows kernel and remote desktop services. Simultaneously, the security community is tracking a series of critical vulnerabilities in Parse Server. These flaws, which received maximum severity scores of 10, allow both authenticated and unauthenticated attackers to manipulate internal tables and bypass query handling protections. Developers using Parse Server are urged to move to the latest alpha or stable versions, specifically version 9.5.2 or 8.6.21. Additional security alerts have been issued for the ZOT Container Registry and the CU and Knowledge Management System, both of which suffer from authorization middleware failures and input sanitization flaws. The co-founders of BioNTech, Sahin and Aslam Teresi, have announced their departure from the company to launch a new, dedicated mRNA firm. While BioNTech became a global household name during the pandemic, this new venture is designed to focus on the next generation of mRNA applications. The goal is to move beyond infectious disease vaccines and into structural repairs of the human immune system specifically targeting personalized cancer treatments. This move signals a pivot in the biotech sector, where the focus is shifting from emergency response to the long-term engineering of human biology. A judge has ruled in favor of Amazon, granting a temporary injunction to block the use of Perplexity's artificial intelligence shopping bots. Amazon sued Perplexity last November, alleging that the browser agent, known as Comet, was scraping the retailer's systems and making unauthorized purchases. The court found evidence that the Comet agent was accessing Amazon's internal systems without proper authorization. This ruling is a major precedent for the agentic web, establishing that retailers have the right to block automated AI agents from executing transactions on their platforms without explicit consent. Under the radar, new research is emerging on distributed legal infrastructure for the agentic web. As artificial intelligence agents begin to perceive and act autonomously, there is a growing need for digital environments where machine-speed decisions are legally binding. At the same time, the sovereign technology space is seeing the development of slashable conditional key release. This is an economic approximation of witness encryption, a concept that has been theoretically possible for over a decade, but technically difficult to deploy. This new system uses client-side zero-knowledge proofs and economic penalties to ensure that encryption keys are only released when specific conditions are met. This allows for complex, automated contracts that do not require a trusted third party to manage the secrets. The White House is preparing an executive order formally instructing federal agencies to remove Anthropic AI from their operations. This move escalates the ongoing conflict between the administration and the company, which is already engaged in a legal battle with the Pentagon over its supply chain risk designation. The directive would force agencies to rip out Anthropic's models and replace them with approved government alternatives, citing national security concerns and the need for stricter control over the AI supply chain. The community is currently analyzing a report from Mandiant that highlights a pivot in how threat actors use large language models. Rather than just writing phishing emails, attackers are now operationalizing models to automate malware obfuscation and exploit vulnerabilities in agentic workflows. On the privacy front, the software engine PH4NTXM has added a behavioral decoy layer. This engine generates plausible background activity, such as terminal commands, cursor movements, and temporary files, to mask the presence of a silent operator and prevent behavioral fingerprinting. Finally, a new tool is trending on GitHub called Hyperliquid Claw. This tool gives AI assistants full access to the Hyperliquid decentralized exchange, allowing autonomous agents to execute trades directly on the chain. This concludes the report for this afternoon.